When I bought this game for the Nintendo Switch, I had fully intended to play the Arkham Trilogy because Brandon and Josiah had come over some time ago and talked so highly about how much fun they had. And so I picked up not just Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight on the Switch to go down a path I had never played before, or intending to, but life got in the way, time got away from me, and I wasn't able to complete this trilogy in time to put out this video like I had intended. So instead, what I'm going to do is, after the open rolls, I'm going to play the highlights of Brandon and Josiah talking about their feelings toward the Arkham Quadrilogy, whereas this is just the Arkham Trilogy because they cut out Origins for a reason I'm not sure on the Switch. And after that, then I will talk about my plans for the Nintendo Switch Arkham Trilogy. Arkham Asylum, the first game, could not beat it. I had to detect something, and I was not a good detective. and then, like a dummy, a few years later, I forgot that I was incapable of completing a Batman game, and I saw, oh man, they got a new Batman game,
and it looks great.
It looks so good.
Oh yeah,
buy it again.
I bought that game. Same thing. The same problem struck.
So you learned this lesson for the other two games.
And so I didn't buy the two follow-ups. Thank you, Josiah. But what I do bring is a good knowledge of Batman.
And that's all you really need.
And so Brandon, a kind friend and a good person when it comes to the channel, brought over his PlayStation, and we took a deep dive into the Batmans that I had not played. And let me tell you, I thought the first ones were pretty. I thought the first one was pretty. I thought the second one was pretty. But my goodness, these newer ones, better than ever.
Oh yeah, Arkham Knight to this day, graphics-wise,
amazing.
Holds up.
Story,
we'll talk.
I actually have a thing that you may not expect to say about that when we get there.
Okay,
can't wait.
But we'll start from the beginning.
Arkham Asylum. I remember when I bought this. I bought it day one, and I bought it at Blockbuster because I'm not sure if anybody remembers this, but they had the deal where if you bought Arkham Asylum, you also get Mask of the Phantasm for free.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Yeah, yep. Because
that's a great deal.
Yeah, right. And I never saw Mask of the Phantasm, and I was solely happy. It's one of the greatest, probably, superhero video games of all time. I think probably the only one that will hold up to it is probably Spider-Man PS4. Recently, that people just overwhelmingly gloat about. I mean, the story is great. And what I like about it, it's subtle. It's not really a good place for criminals. You'll see contraptions and it looks like almost torture devices.
Absolutely.
You'll feel like the prisoners are like, I don't want to go back there, and then you'll just see all these things. But also, it has a subtext of, does Batman deserve to belong in there with these guys too? Is he?
As insane as they are.
Is he as insane, and does he actually help people? And because, he keeps putting them in there, but at the same time, it's like they keep breaking out and they keep doing these things. But it's subtle where it's like, hey, he's not like these people, and it does an expert way to do that with with Bane's toxin, where he's like, I'm not taking this to beat the Joker, who takes it at the end. I'm going to beat you with my mind and my mental. And the things that he goes with Scarecrow also proves that, hey, he might be going through issues, but he is not crazy like how he should be. And I think that story is probably, the best in the franchise because it's so subtle and it does the comic book action stuff too. But I like the subtlety of the story and the characterization of Batman in that. So that's
I have literally nothing to contribute.
I
think that nailed it, here's the other thing. Like, I wasn't able to get to the finish line and figure out that Batman used his brains to beat him because I just, like I said, I couldn't navigate my way through the Asylum, and I struggled.
So the great thing about Asylum is it was one of the first games of its kind, like Brandon said. Well, not first, but
one of the best.
Yeah, one of the best of its kind. The game was so good because of how much detail they put into it too. So like the story wise, all the stuff Brandon said, 100% times 1,000, so true. But the other thing that made it great was the actual gameplay. It was how the combat worked.
Oh yeah,
finding the mysteries, finding the secrets. Like, you know how Oz said he couldn't complete the game because he's not a very good detective. This game had a secret that was so well hidden that the creators literally had to tell everyone what it was a week after the new game came out.
Right.
Oh, that's funny.
So they literally, if you go in, is it Trask office?
Yeah.
The Trask office, if you blow up a certain wall, but it's not even highlighted like the other one.
Like, you wouldn't notice it.
But if you blow it up and you walk through it, you'll see the blueprints to Arkham City.
The second game.
Oh, right. And
they literally put a teaser for the second game in the game. What, 2 years before the next one came out?
2 years, right?
Well, I mean, come on now. That is so Batman, it's not even funny.
Right.
And it's so...
At the end of Batman Begins, they're teasing The Dark Knight.
Right.
And so, no, I love that. I never saw it, never knew it, but I love it.
And all the games, even City has a teaser leading up to Scarecrow.
Right.
But everybody kind of figured that.
Everyone figured that one out because it made it a lot easier because, like, well, dang, if no one finds it, it's no fun.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. It's really cool how you get to it.
But I didn't want to put that in there before we moved on.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, next one would be Arkham City. Escalation. And I always say this, like, with the sequel, grow upon what you did previously. So it takes that core concept of, hey, does Batman belong in here? But it makes it even grander because, yes, the story doesn't really make any sense. Like, you can't section off half of a city. But it's Batman.
Yeah.
And it makes sense in the context because of Hugo Strange.
And also, to be fair, it's comics, so half the stuff that happens doesn't make sense anymore.
Right. But, my God, is it so good? I mean, as a sequel, I was impressed. And at first, I really thought that was the best one until replaying Arkham Asylum again. I was like, okay, I think Asylum is better because it's just a little bit tighter. But City... I mean, it gives you characters after characters, and it moves at a snappy pace. It gives you Mr. Freeze, Catwoman,
and I can still
Robin.
remember the Freeze fight.
Yeah. The Freeze fight is probably one of my favorite fights.
It might have been where I stopped playing this game because I
nothing was better than this moment.
I was struggling.
Yes, because he adapts to everything.
He changes everything up.
But
it's such a fun fight.
But what I like about it is the duality of people trying to be Batman. Like Hugo Strange is trying to be a better Batman, and he's being manipulated by Ra's al Ghul. And it's like, that's brilliant. It's like, hey, can there be anybody who can do Batman better than him? And the answer is no. No, they don't have the core concepts or the heart to do the job.
So I want to ask a quick question of the both of you, because I'm going to exclude myself from this, even if you decide to do it. Would you like to rate in my 5-star rating system the games as we go along? Because I exclude myself because I was unable to complete anything.
I can do that. Arkham Asylum, since we just did that first.
Yes.
5.
Yeah, awesome. So it's a great game.
5.
Cool.
Yeah. Arkham City, 4.5. The only reason I will dox it is that, how can I say, it feels like a fetch quest that just keeps going in a big circle until finally the end with the Joker stuff. And I think it's like, it's Batman. He can figure out like a better way. And then they keep...
There is definitely a more efficient way to do that.
Yeah. And then they keep saying like Protocol 9 or Protocol 10 or something. Yeah. And that gets pushed to the side until the very end. And the story kind of loses itself to me at the very end.
Sure.
But yeah, that's my criticism.
Yeah, that's totally understandable.
Listen, me and Brandon are on the same wavelength here. I also got 4.5 for that.
The funny thing is that I didn't stop at Freeze because I can remember now that loudspeaker announcement.
Protocol.
And so that's funny. The more you're talking about, the more I remember. But I know I didn't get to the finish line. I just I know that I
he didn't cross the threshold.
Exactly. Close enough to where that I did hear them, bemoaning the fact that I ain't good enough for you.
Yes. Yes.
I know, buddy. I know.
I mean, man, Arkham City. It
It was so good.
Yeah, it was so dense, and then they finally where you can see the Riddler, and then if you get all the trophies, you can actually take them down.
Actually beat them up.
Yeah. There's
the side quests were like really well designed. Like you remember Hush?
Yeah.
Which was probably one of my favorite parts of that whole game, was doing just the Hush side quest. And because I already knew who Hush was. I knew it was going to be Hush, like literally 5 seconds in when it was like Thomas Elliot, the doctor. Because I think they had the Thomas Elliot tease in Arkham Asylum. And then they actually brought it to fruition in City, which is another great thing about the game. They, like you said, they build upon where they're at. There it is.
Yeah. Yes, Hush.
So beautiful. Love this.
Such a great storyline.
Yeah.
It's honestly, to this day, Hush is still probably one of my favorite Batman storylines, just because of how it was put together.
Arkham City has better, but they're still not as good as the next game that we'll talk about, which is Origins, which has the best boss fights in the whole entire saga. Where it's like from start to finish, these boss fights are great.
They're a perfect combination of tough but enjoyable.
Right, and they're unique and different, and it makes Bane.
No one fight is the same.
And it makes Bane terrifying.
Yeah.
Like
I cannot describe to you how many times Bane killed me in that boss fight. Like, granted, I was playing on the hardest difficulty, but still, this cutscene so much I actually like put the controller away and said, I'm gonna leave before I break this really expensive controller. So that's how you know a boss fight's good. When you're like, I'm going to come back to this, and I am going to beat this. And the satisfaction you have when you beat it, I think you can attest, is amazing. It's so euphoric.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't begin to tell you. I've never been there.
So Arkham Origins is a game that takes place during Christmas, and it's Batman Year 2. Story, I really like it a lot. I think it's underrated.
Yeah.
Because it deals with,
Does it follow this, Batman Year 1?
Sort of, but
so there's elements to it,
right?
But obviously it's not a.
For sure. That's really cool because this is one of the best Frank Miller books ever.
Exactly. I think Brandon called it best with the Batman Year 2.
Yeah,
like
that was cool.
It's got the Year 1 elements. The stuff makes sense. You can clearly tell he's new with this thing.
Criminals are afraid, because they're like, he's a myth.
Yeah.
And people don't know if he's really real or not until you finally see him.
That's another great thing about the game, and I'm glad you said that because it made me think about it. But so when you're in detective mode, which is like just the state where you can just see everything and like look for little hidden clues and stuff. But you're actually, if you just sit there, you're actually able to hear whoever's close by and hear what they're saying. They're literally talking about, is that Batman guy even real? The Arkham franchise is so good at doing small stuff very well that it makes the big stuff feel even better, which I think is a real high point of the games.
It deals with Batman and his anger.
Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much, much more. But most importantly, the story itself.
Because it's like, he's very angry. Him and Alfred. I mean, I think that's probably the core of the game. The others didn't. They just have Alfred helping. It's like, sir, you need to go here so you can help. But this one, you actually see Alfred like confront Bruce.
You see Alfred be a father figure.
Right.
It's a lot more. Like, which is, I'm so glad you brought this up. Brandon, you're so good at this, man. Oz, we need to get this man some kind of award or something for being so talented.
MVP.
MVP award. Like, Alfred is, like, literally, he's Bruce's dad. He's, like, you can literally see the dynamic of their relationship throughout the whole series. Like, aside from Knight, because I think Knight did it a little bit. But the first two games, it was more just Alfred's just there as a butler. He's there as an assistant. He's, like, Bruce is established. He knows what he's doing. Alfred knows he knows what he's doing. So there's not really that moment of Alfred reeling him back, saying, hey, you gotta calm down. You gotta think this through. You're letting your emotions get the best of you. And it's gonna set you up for your downfall. I don't want to see you die, type stuff. And it really hits you to your core. It's real emotional stuff. You're like, I can feel that. I feel like that's something my father would say to me if I was in this situation.
Yeah.
Now I'm not athletic or Batman, but regardless, point taken.
Yeah, it sets up him and Batman's relationship because he doesn't trust him.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm about to say, to be fair, why would you?
Right, but the best mission I think in the game is when you infiltrate the police station.
Yeah.
And you hear the dialogue with the police about Batman, but they're
it's
also
really good.
corrupt because you hear like, oh, like, hey, let's take money from the side from Penguin and stuff like that.
Those people are bright red. You're like, I can interrogate this guy if I have a chance.
Because he needs to get information to the police. And then Barbara Gordon's there. And then Barbara Gordon helps because she trusts Batman. She always believed that he was there.
Yep.
Also, there are 9 assassins. I think 9?
Yes, that sounds
right. 9 assassins.
Yeah, because it's
that
9
hired.
and then you have... Yeah, okay.
That were hired by Black Mask.
Yeah, so it's... Hold up. Let's see if I can remember one. Mm-hmm. It's Firefly.
Yep.
Deadshot.
Uh-huh.
The Executioner.
The
Executioner. That's right, because he came in really feeling himself, and if you don't do anything, he just keeps talking until you walk up and punch him in the face. I remember that.
And it's the easiest boss fight in the world. But it's great. It's fun.
Oh, man, that's part of the reason I made it great. I'll say the other ones because I'm drawing a blank.
Anyway, so there's 9 assassins, and they're all hired by Black Mask. Now, this is a controversial point in the game, is that Black Mask is actually the Joker.
What?
Yeah.
He kidnaps in the Black Mask. And,
the actual Black Mask.
Right, and takes his persona to get money and to kind of lure Batman out, per se.
Well, here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Does the game franchise establish when Joker is created? Was he created in year 1 of Batman? Or was he existing prior to Batman's existence?
They kind of do something in the flashback because Batman beats the Joker and halfway through the game, and the Joker's talking to Harley Quinn before he messes with her head.
The classic therapy session.
Right. And he does the red helmet thing.
Classic Red Hood.
Yeah, Red Hood.
Yeah, Red Hood.
Yeah, we all remember.
And he kind of says that he basically falls in a vat of acid, but it's murky, so they don't really set up like the Joker.
So they basically rely on the comic origin.
Well, my question is, assuming this is year 2, correct?
Yes, correct.
Then is it safe to assume that Joker gets created in Batman's year 1?
Yes.
Okay. That feels
because they didn't know
right.
each other. They don't know.
Yeah,
anything
they literally first meet in this game.
Right.
Sure.
Okay, so there's no Jack Napier.
Correct.
Kind
none
of
of that.
gimmicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Firefly, Copperhead, Bane, Shiva. I'm really mad I forgot Shiva because that was an annoying boss fight.
Mm-hmm.
The Electrocutioner, the guy who dropped in one punch.
My ranking of that game is a 4. I think it's underrated personally. I just don't think it's as crisp because it recycles, and I don't blame them for that, but it recycles a lot of elements from Arkham City to try to make the game. They just put snow over everything.
Can I make an assumption?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that this game, being a recycle, is why that the follow-up game gives you the car element that the prior 3 did not do.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably right.
Yeah, you're probably. Yeah.
Because, I mean, aside from that...
I know games that I play, primarily wrestling games, they recycle a lot because, especially when, like, the in-between year. So it's like there's an in-between year where it's basically the year prior with maybe a couple new faces.
Yep.
Because the next year we're going to give you something brand new, like, I don't know, War Games or whatever.
Something big.
Yeah, something big.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that would make sense as to why they made that choice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I also think it was the last, like, established game in the franchise. They wanted to do something different with something that is synonymous with Batman that people would probably freak out over.
For sure.
The Batmobile.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and it was also new console exclusive, too.
Yeah,
because the backwards game didn't have it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, good stuff.
What did you think of it?
So, I really liked Arkham Origins. This was probably the first Arkham game that I liked the story more than the actual gameplay.
Okay.
So, for that, I'm giving it like a 3.5.
Okay.
Which is still playable.
Absolutely.
A lot of replay value.
Getting into the final one, which is Arkham Knight, which is easily the most polarizing.
What also I grew up not having was an abundance of channels. As a matter of fact, there were times we had 0 channels, so I would just pop in tapes, watch them over and over and over. And it's not as though my first viewing spoiled my second viewing. If something is good, it is good.
Fair.
And so that's what I wanted to say about the concept of being predictable. So if something is right and it's predictable, doesn't mean it's wrong. And if something's wrong and you predict it, and it's still wrong. And so that's all I was going to say about the topic of people being able to realize that when a character says "old man" to Batman, and
Yes.
they say, "Oh,
Wow, that
I figured that out."
narrows down the list of possibilities to one guy. All right.
Yeah, this is where the gameplay side comes in, where I think that is poor game design because so they can throw at you for the combat 50 enemies,
Yeah.
but the core combat is set up to handle that. You just have to be good enough.
I'm about to say, if you're good enough in the game, you can fight 50 enemies as
Right.
Batman, no problem.
But you,
Well, maybe not no problem.
but yeah, if you know all the tools and things that you have to
Everything
do.
you can use.
But to shoot one tank thing at a time, tank
And then need
missile,
a 2-second cooldown period.
right, and then you have to hopefully don't get hit, so you can build up missiles, so you can just evaporate the entire field.
No. You evaporate 3 things.
Well, yeah, 3
Let's
or 4
not get
things.
crazy.
But that's where the upgrades. That's where the game design takes place. Where I don't think that they gave you the necessary tools to effectively do it. But it's not
I'm
bad.
feeling a lower rating coming.
Well, so I'm gonna give it because it is a 4. But
Oh.
it's
I was blown away.
that was not the guess I had.
because there are some great things about this game. With the Robins, you'll see like Robins minus Damian.
Here's what I think is happening. He's saying, like you said about the prior one, it's the story that got him, not the gameplay.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is fine. I ain't
I'm about
mad
to
at
say, if it works, it works.
it. Yeah, absolutely. You
Yeah.
know, whatever it takes to get that 4 stars.
So, the thing for me about this game, I did like it, but it was by far the weakest in the quadrilogy.
Quadrilogy.
Yeah,
Quadrilogy for me. Part of the reason was, as I was watching the ads, because this is the first one, I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy this when it comes out. Because all of them I pretty much bought retroactively.
Okay.
Minus Origin. I think I actually got Origin on Christmas,
Okay.
which was cool.
Very nice.
So thanks, Mom and Pop, for hooking that up. But this is the first one I'm like, okay, I'm actually going to buy this when it comes out, day it comes out. I had it pre-ordered and everything. And I'm watching the trailers, which is usually something I have a hard, fast rule against. Like, if I know for sure I'm going to buy something or watch something, I'm not going to watch the trailer for it because I just want to enjoy it. Like, I don't want to be like, well, I saw that 50 times in the trailer, so it kind of loses its impact.
Okay.
for me. So I like to see everything with fresh eyes first go around. But I was watching the trailer for it, I'm like, all right, well, they're building it a lot around Arkham Knight. And like Oz, I took one look at it and said, yeah, that's clearly Jason Todd. And literally, I only had one other friend in high school that was like as into comics as I was. And we looked at each other when we saw this because we were watching at the same time. We're like, that's Jason Todd at the same time. So it kind of bugged me because it felt like they built a lot of the game around who Arkham Knight was. Who is this guy? He's a mystery. Who could it be? And I'm like, it's Jason Todd. It's not a mystery. It wasn't surprising. But I will say, Oz, you kind of helped turn me around on this because you made a great point. If something's good, it's good. It doesn't matter if you know it already.
Right.
And,
And one of the things that really made me feel good about it is that Brandon said that the Arkham Knight look adapted, took the horns off and came to the blood red helmet.
and then it looked like Red Hood.
And the reason I bring this up is because having a level of deception is not unlike Batman. So he has his own things that he does. Matches Malone is an alternate ego that he has used to gather intel. Thank you.
Yep.
On adversaries, and so to me, it didn't seem like that far of a stretch for Jason to say, "Hey, well, I know that you know me, but you don't know this, and so introduce this." And then when you come out with the big reveal and say, "Hey, old man, yeah,
it was me all along."
yeah, Austin, it was me. It was me all along. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's the greatest heel turn of all time.
Of all time. Who would have seen it coming? Not I.
It was me, Bruce. It was me. You're like, oh, God.
Yeah, so on the subject of a quadrilogy, I would like to let
Hold up. Just to get my ranking, it was 3.75.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked it a little bit better than Origins because it had a better story. But then all the gameplay stuff Brandon said, I personally liked the car, but I hated the racing element. He didn't like the truck. I don't know if you like the racing element.
It was okay. It's
okay.
It's palm sweaty again, but...
Yeah.
As I said from the beginning, my intentions are to finish this trilogy. I looked it up. before going to record, and Arkham Asylum I'm 25% completed on. So here's the deal. When I finish Arkham Asylum, I'm going to have Brandon and Josiah back over, and we'll talk about that game exclusively. And then subsequently, when I finish Arkham City, I'll have them over. We'll talk about that game exclusively. And then when I beat Arkham Knight, whenever that'll be, let's say the year 2035 or something, kidding, I hope, then we'll talk about that game. And so that's a way to make this purchase worthwhile and make it all make sense. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that trip down memory lane. Come back all next week for more content from Mr. Super Oz.